Technology changes our lives in amazing ways. Every new year, we manage to come up with something that makes our lives even better. I'm Rahul from Simplilearn, and these are the top 10 technologies that you should look out for in 2018. Number 10. Digital Twin. Digital Twin uses a digital or a virtual model of a process, product, or a service to check how well it does in real life. Now, this is used where it's too expensive to actually create a real life model. So say you had to test the effectiveness of a robot that performs a task or performs a process. You'll have to build a digital twin of the model. Then, the model is tested with scenarios and use cases. Now, some of the industries that use this technology are the oil and gas industry, the renewable energy industry, and the aviation industry. Now, let's talk about how this technology is making our lives easier. It helps reduce product defects because when the product is released in the real world, it's already been validated using its digital twin. It also saves a whole lot of time and money. It shortens the time of marketing. Now let's see what the future of the digital twin technology could be. Companies will be able to use the data they obtain from their IoT connected devices to help serve their customers better, hence improving their revenue. Digital twins would come of great use in data collection, visualizing the data and then analyzing it. They would expand beyond its current scope and integrate with a wider set of technologies. Number 9. RPA or Robotic Process Automation. Like you've heard of machines in manufacturing plants that can perform their own operations, RPA uses a robot or a bot to perform business processes that are of high volume and repeat themselves. So, RPA uses artificial intelligence and machine learning together to handle jobs that repeat themselves. Some of the tools that enable RPA are Blue Prism, UiPath, and Automation Anywhere. Now, these are all software platforms that provide the user tools to perform RPA on the processes that they require. Now, let's talk about how RPA is used today. Customer support. A job like responding to customers through chat can be automated so that only the more complex issues can come forward to the human workers, augmenting human capability. By reducing the effort humans put into a redundant process, RPA helps increase the output of human beings by them working on something else. A whole chunk of errors can be avoided by removing some of the human components in the work. Because unlike us, a computer doesn't tire, nor does it take breaks. So what's in store for the future of RPA? RPA would grow into more different sectors, expanding from the current fields it occupies, so that several components of the system coordinate and work together. The systems would move from a more rule-based system to ones that integrate AI. The systems would be able to handle unexpected situations on their own. Number 8. The Internet of Things. The Internet of Things interconnects several physical devices, home appliances, and just about all newly released electronic devices that can exchange data over the internet. Some of the more popular development tools using which IoT can be implemented are the Arduino, Eclipse, and IBM Watson. Now let's talk about how IoT is making our lives easier. Companies are able to track and analyze the data that their products send back to them so that they can provide their customers with an improved experience. Wearables like the Fitbit provide their users with a whole lot of information, from the number of steps they take, their schedules, to notifications from third-party apps. It also collects and stores a large amount of data from the user for the companies to use. Now let's see what the future of IoT has to offer. Smarter cities. The city officials can monitor what is happening in the city, how the city is evolving, and how to enable a better quality of life to its citizens. Routers will have to become more secure. To provide increased privacy, routers will be forced to become more efficient and secure. We would also see an increase in the usage of products that use artificial intelligence. This would make the user's life a lot easier. Number 7. DevOps. DevOps brings together tasks between teams so that they can communicate and coordinate better with each other. This would increase productivity in the process. So the teams I mentioned, they're the application development team and the system operations. Together, they form a more agile approach to software development. Some DevOps tools that are quite commonly used by companies are Jenkins, Docker, and Chef. These tools enable these corporations to integrate the properties of DevOps into different teams. So let's talk about why DevOps is so important now. It reduces the amount of time it takes for a product to be developed, built, and tested. This ensures the customer receives the product faster. The output that the customer obtains is also of higher quality. It also assists in disaster recovery. It can help recover the files faster. So what's the future of DevOps? Although DevOps is a practice that is seen in larger companies, the future would see it adopted to smaller companies and teams, so they can too taste greater successes. Integrating DevOps with big data projects would remove major bottlenecks that sudden changes to the analytical model would cause. There would also be an improved security to the code and application, as the product isn't worked on by the apps team and the sys team separately. Number 6. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity involves many technologies, processes, and practices which ensure that data, computers, and networks are protected from attack, damage, and illegal access. It provides application security, protects your information, your network, and your operations. Some of the more commonly found cybersecurity tools are OSEC, OpenVAS, Onion, Metasploit, and Wireshark. Here's how cybersecurity is making our lives easier. It prevents spyware or any sort of other malware from entering your system. It prevents the user from being attacked by adware as well. Now, adware, although sometimes innocent and annoying, could also spread harmful viruses into the system. Cybersecurity also ensures that the user's privacy remains intact. So what's the future of cybersecurity? Although there's been significant steps being taken to increase cybersecurity, there's still a lot more work to be done. The future would see more organizations come together to provide a better defense against cybercrime. Systems at some point would be able to predict and even combat new attacks. AI integrated into cybersecurity would ensure greater protection after learning from experience. I think I'll just go and change my Facebook password. It doesn't hurt to be safe. Number 5. Virtual reality and augmented reality. Virtual reality uses computer technology to create 3D environments that the users can interact with and can be immersed in. So here's an idea of what the VR experience would be like. It pushes the envelope of how much immersion the user can have. Augmented reality integrates the user's environment and digital information in real time. Pokemon Go is an example of one such experience. AR would also be used in maps and supermarkets, providing essential information and generally making the user's life a lot easier. They allow gaming to be more immersive and personal experiences, allowing you to feel like you're actively participating in the events of the game. There's also more marketing that can be done with 3D and animated catalogs, flyers and brochures. It also helps victims rehabilitate after they've gone through some trauma or injury. So what's the future of VR and AR? Education would be a more immersive experience because a lot more can be learned by seeing something rather than hearing how it works. Attractions and theme parks would be more interesting and varied. Medical students would be trained to perform surgeries and other procedures, giving them an experience very close to the real thing. Number 4. Big data. Big data is a trend that extends across many businesses and technologies. It helps organizations describe large and complex data that cannot be handled by traditional software that handles data. Complex data using big data can be visualized, analyzed, and stored. Some of the open source tools that are commonly used are Apache Spark, Talend, and Hadoop. Some data visualization tools are Tableau and Power BI, and data extraction tools like PassHub and Mozinda. So how is big data making our lives easier? You're able to identify business risks much in advance so that appropriate steps can be taken. It allows unstructured data to be converted into data that can be used to provide insights into how a company's management works. By extension, it also helps how well the company operates and how well its products do. So what's the future of big data? The future would bring more ways to analyze data. There would be a more specific role of chief data officer that overlooks how well the big data is utilized. Big data is still relatively less used. The future would see more companies rely on data to generate revenue. Number 3. Cloud computing. Cloud computing uses a network of remote servers that are on the internet. These help store, manage, and process data instead of actually using a personal computer or server. Some of the more commonly used service providers of cloud computing are the AWS or the Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. So how is cloud computing being used right now? It helps in backing up and storage of files. It coordinates with big data analysis like customer behavior, buying patterns, and so on to serve its users better. It provides infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and backup as a service. What could cloud computing do in the future? There would be a wider variety of applications that the cloud can provide. Hybrid cloud, which is an up-and-coming technology, would see more mainstream usage. There would also be greater innovation in the cloud, considering how fast technology is transforming. Number 2. Blockchain. Blockchain is a continuous growing list of records of blocks. These are secured and linked using cryptography. Now, some set of records that blockchains can use are transaction details, location of cryptocurrencies, and the user's medical data. So you see here the records are forming a chain that keeps on building. Now here are some types of cryptocurrencies. Some of these you might have heard of and some you're hearing for the first time. There's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Zcash, and Dash. So how does blockchain make our lives easier? Provides increased capacity. It also provides better security against data being stolen or being misused. With all the data available in one convenient location, transactions can also take place at a faster pace. Now let's look at the future of blockchain. It might be adopted by banks around the world. Cryptocurrency would also be widely used by people. People would be able to move past their initial fear of them and accept it as another method of transaction. It might also give rise to new industries and job opportunities. And now we have some special mentions. Now these are technologies that didn't quite make the cut. That's not to say they aren't important, they're just gathering steam over time. First we have quantum computing. This uses quantum mechanics to process and store information. Adaptive security, which is a dynamic approach to cybersecurity. It allows risk-based decisions to be taken with an adaptive response. And then there's NLP, which allows computers to interact with human beings in a language they can understand. And at number 1, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning. Artificial intelligence creates intelligent computer systems that act and think like human beings. So here are some AI tools that are commonly used. There's Prediction.io, which allows developers and data scientists to create their own predictive engines. There's the Azure Machine Learning Workbench, which allows developers to build their own AI agents or build upon existing models. And finally, there's TensorFlow. It's a software library that's used for data flow programming. It's commonly used in deep learning. Now, machine learning systems learn and improve based on experience without being programmed to actually do something. Here, the machine performs a task, learns from that task, and improves its performance for the next time around. So how is AI helping us now? Systems are able to understand what the users are saying to them and perform an action or respond accordingly. Smart cars that get better with experience, and virtual private assistants like Alexa or Cortana, they provide results based on user preference. How is machine learning helping us now? Predicting the traffic conditions and estimating what the taxi fares would be. Recommending people to tag in images and suggesting friends on social media. Improving search results based on user experience. So in case you're wondering, machine learning is actually a subset of AI. So every example that is in ML also comes under AI. So what is the future for AI and machine learning? We might have robot assistants to help in our day-to-day activities, like you see in the movie iRobot. Cybernetic limb replacements might become a lifesaver for accident victims or amputees. Although automated transportation is a thing that's being worked on right now, it's still a work in progress. The future would see a completely automated transportation system. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll have our own robot pricing. Now that you know the technologies that you should be focusing on, here's how Simplilearn can help. Simplilearn has courses on AI and machine learning, cloud computing, networking, big data, business intelligence tools, cybersecurity, blockchain, programming, DevOps, and data science. So log on to Simplilearn now to take your first steps, get certified, and get ahead. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it informative. Thank you, and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.